I feel heartbroken and don't know how to move on. I've never done this before, but I feel like I need to hear another opinion that isn't my own on this. When I was in high school, I used to be friends with this girl, and we always kind of liked each other. I moved away but came back one summer, and we had some experiences that made us closer, and we always wondered what things would have been like if I stayed. We kept in contact over the years, and she always asked me to come visit her whenever I was back in town, but the opportunity to go back never really presented itself. A few years later, I found out she was in some freak accident, and I reached out to check on her. I was surprised when she responded, and we started chatting again. One thing led to another, and we started wondering what things could be like between us again, and eventually she convinced me to come visit. She told me she wanted me to let go and really feel my emotions with her and not to be scared of falling in love. I am very vulnerable to this and have not had the best experience with this in the past, but considering how long I've known her, it was easier to trust her, so I built it up in my head. I really felt like we were on the same page about a lot and shared a lot of the same dreams. I knew she hadn't really seen anyone in a while due to the accident, and I wanted to be there to surprise her for her birthday, thinking it would be nice to have some company outside of her family. I managed to make it a few days after her birthday as a late gift. She picked me up from the airport when I got there, and it was amazing for the first 1 to 2 days. We ended up having some intimacy problems around the second day, and from that moment onwards, she treated me like total shit. I mean, she would just treat me like I didn't know anything, even about things that I'm doing a degree about or have expressed passion during the years we've known each other. Complain about how I did everything, amplify every small mistake I made. Constant cold shoulder, then warm up. I got to the point where I would go out to give her space. Then she would complain I didn't spend enough time with her. Then I would spend time, and she would say I should go see my friends. It drove me to the point of tears, and I just didn't feel like I was welcome anymore. She told me that she was frustrated I had not finished some coursework before coming, and that she felt like I wasn't giving her enough attention, but even after I finished it, she was very cold. One night I had a few drinks, and I told her about how I felt about the way she was treating me, and she apologized and treated me better that night, but after the next day it was back to normal. I felt such high and lows the whole time I was there. It was to the point where I was hardly seeing my friends or doing other things on my holiday, because I was so obsessed with the idea that maybe she would be nice to me one day, or I was getting emotionally drained. In the end, even after apologizing and trying to open up dialogue as to why she was upset, I never really found out why she was treating me that way. I asked her up front once if there was someone else, but she told me there wasn't. I wasn't totally convinced, though, because she was always glued to her phone texting someone even if it was just us two alone. When I left, I told her we shouldn't talk too much so we don't drift apart again. In reality, because I was scared of the feeling of seeing a longtime friend disappear, but even then, I never heard from her after. Not even to check if I landed or on my birthday or ever. I reached out to her once and tried to tell her how hurt I felt by the experience, but she didn't really seem to care much and just told me sorry I felt that way. I found out a month later that she had a new boyfriend, so I assumed maybe this had something to do with it. She removed me off of everything, and as the time passes, I'm realizing more that I really miss the friend I thought she was. She was super cool, and for the time we were close, I have never had a female friend I relate to and feel so comfortable around. I'm left feeling used, and like she only saw me as an option after 6 years of friendship. I've tried to let this go for months, but every now and again, something will remind me of her, and I'm not really sure what to do.